Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bushcraft North of 60. Not much bushcraft on this one, but if you see those fins down in there, that's the voltage regulator that I'm trying to change on my machine. This one is now for sale. Looks like crap right now with it all tore apart, but yeah, mufflers down there and everything. What a poop show this is. Where did I put the new part? Oh, this could be a problem. Well, anyways, once I find that, the part that I'm replacing, it's about a $150 part, the voltage regulator, but it's buried right next to the motor, and you almost have to take the motor out to get it out. Almost, not quite. I'm sure there's a way the dealer does this. But. So what I've done, I bought a couple of these just because you never know how things are going to go, but of course, all the stuff we have here at work, we have 0 10mm sockets. I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, and I have 9 or 7 11mm. So anyways, 10mm deep socket. Works okay on the outside nut, but the inside one, it's too long and the regular one's too shallow. So I took one of them, cut it down about that far. Probably took 8mm or so off of it, maybe 10mm. And filed it flat. It's not a pretty job. Put some flats on the end here so when it does go on that nut, I can grab on it with the vice grips. If I was really smart, it's kind of late now I guess, but I would have filed that into a 6-point, a hex, to fit a wrench and just put a wrench down over it. Might still have to do that. There's quite a bit of meat there. I guess I can file that down, but this is not going so awesome. But what is awesome is there's a new sled at home. So picked up a 2019 Tundra Long Track 600 Ace. Yeah, night and day. So we didn't have it for very long and we got ripped off pretty good on it. Put a lot of more money into it and learned life's lessons. 2 things you don't buy used: snowmobiles and boats, at least not up here. So I'll try to get this thing put back together. Ever ask yourself, how stupid can this get? Well, after all that messing around trying to get the nut off of there, that was quite the job. So I use one hand on the camera and the light. So I've got my oil pump, or part of my oil pump in here. Oil line, some other various lines. Get my fingers in here. Alright, so I'm on the voltage regulator. Those long studs that it mounts to are just long enough that it won't come out with the motor installed. That electronic component, which is prone to failure, is trapped in there by the motor, which is not a super easy job in my estimation to take out. So I might just unplug the plug, put the voltage regulator somewhere, I have no idea where it's not going to get wet or get heated up too much from the exhaust, and call it good. This is absolutely ridiculous. Well, hopefully this shows up on camera, but now I thought about rerouting this, but it does use the tunnel as a heat sink. So I've got a hacksaw blade here with the vice grips, and about halfway through the back stud that holds on this regulator there. You can see that's halfway cut through. I've got about, I don't know, maybe an inch of stroke to go back and forth to cut with. Can't say I'm overly stoked on this, but oh well. When it's done, it's done, and at least then it'll be fixed right for the next person. So hopefully this thing sells soon. So we'll see how it goes. It's almost 8 o'clock at night here. I'm already done my first foot long at Subway. Okay, so plan B didn't work. I cut the stud on that. Took a super long time and still isn't coming out. So plan C is to go old school Chrysler and put it in the airstream here of not the engine intake, but the fan that cools off the engine. Figure it's only plastic. Good chance to use my new Swiza D08. And hopefully there's enough cold air coming through here that this will work. Because if there isn't, well, then that's just too bad. Then we just dangle it off the side of something and call it a day. This is actually working pretty good. It's a pretty sharp little reamer. I'm just gonna get this hole big enough that I can put a saw blade in there or a pair of shears or something. Although, man, oh man, a guy could just do this whole thing like this. If he really didn't have a life. And that creaking noise is just my wrist and my elbow. Getting old. Alright. See you folks in a minute. This is one of those instances I wish I had some more stuff at work, but I'm not going to complain. Because I wear a lot of people try to do it. See you when this is all done. Alright, so there it is. I just need to make a mount for it that it can bolt to and then fasten that to the intake ducting here and put a bunch of heat shielding on it. And I guess we might be able to see that down there. So I went with the fan, the fins running top to bottom here. So they go, in this sort of fashion, thinking that as the air comes in, hopefully it'll draw excess heat from there, but it looks like, yeah, it sucks either way. Let's hope it works. I'm going to fab up a plate, and then we'll go from there. Well now, this is probably the most haggard thing I've ever done, but it's rock solid. So that's the intake that comes in underneath the headlight. This isn't fastened properly right now, but we can fix that. Air comes in, there's a fan here similar to what you would have in your blower motor for the heater in your car. Got that mounted in there. I'm going to seal that up and put some heat blocking material on it, and then we'll hopefully get the exhaust back together here without too many issues. Put the rest of the machine together, ride it home, and put a for sale sign on it. And I don't want to say good riddance because I did have good times on this thing, but man, don't ever buy a used snowmobile. Ever. It's got like 4 kilometers on it. Don't buy it. Why would they sell something with 4 kilometers on it? Ugh. And there's the finished product in all its ugliness. I really hope that works out. But it's sealed up with this foil tape underneath here, and then I've got an air gap using this foil tape as a heat shield because the muffler is going to be roundabouts here. I don't know, we'll see, but it does suck in an awful lot of cold air through that, so hopefully that does the trick. Well guys, here it is, like 12:30 at night. I took the long way home, but I definitely I was working on this thing pretty late, but it's all back together and runs. Stupid thing actually runs pretty good now. It's a little quieter than exhaust, so it might have had a little leak somewhere that when I put the exhaust back together worked out good. Yeah, now it's going to be looking for a new home. What's that little guy? Oh, it's a little Tundra. Now I got to get that thing kitted out. Yipper doodles. Well, that was quite the saga, so all's well that ends well, I guess, but yeah, I'm still glad that things are moving on. So, till next time, see you from here in the Northwest Territories. Take care.